Oh, what is up, everyone? This will be my Wukong jungle video, and Wukong jungle I think is very strong right now. He's received some buffs, a few buffs actually, and I think he's in a really good spot. If you like Wukong jungle and you enjoy eating bananas, then this champion is definitely for you. So for starters, Triforce by far, you have to go Triforce first item. Second item, Sunder's Guy most definitely is the best second item. Third is when it gets more flexible. Third, I think Cleaver or Sterix. Generally, your full build will be Cleaver, Sterix, Def Stance, GA, you mix in these items. But generally, I'm most likely going to go, third item, either Sterix, Cleaver, or Def Stance. There are some cases where you can go for like a Maul build if you want to fit it in. But if you remember, you go Maul, you cannot build Sterix. Sorry, I'm actually a bit late here. So here we're going to go E. And we're going to start E level 1, solo red buff. And Wukong jungle, extremely healthy clear. It's very simple. Start E level 1 every time. And your passive stack pretty much gives you a bunch of armor. So when you have an ability like Wukong, his passive gives you a lot of armor. You can kind of tell that he's really good against AD picks. So why did I pick Wukong into Elise? Well, the reason is the rest of the team is actually pretty AD heavy. So if I can somehow bypass Elise's magic damage, which is just being better than her, then I should be in a good spot this game. So my goal as Wukong jungle is first clear is ideally full clear unless you see an angle for a play. There are some angles where Wukong jungle can go for like a level 3 gank, but generally as the meta has shifted, it's better to just play your first clear safe than it is to play risky. So I'd advise you to just play full clear on him. Unless for whatever reason you can't, then just make sure you play heavy around your farm. So you're going to be maxing Q first. Here I go E and then Q level 1, or I go E then Q level 2. Afterwards, you're most likely going to go your W ability, and maxing Q first into W second is generally the way to go, but you can also go for Q into E max second. So it's up to you which one you prefer. And your Q is an auto attack reset, so you're going to notice me is use it a lot right after Wukong hits something. You're going to Q to attack instantly. So here, auto attack, then Q. And the Q also extends your range a lot, so you're going to be able to get a lot of damage pretty much off with your Q. And your bread and butter is your Q. Your Q is everything. Your Q is life. It pretty much creates everything you need to know. Sometimes you're not going to use your Q. Sometimes you're not going to auto right away because your Q has way longer attack range. So you're going to use it to gap close on targets, right? So just remember, it's flexible, but your Q is a very important auto attack reset, which with Sheen procs is going to give you a lot of damage. So here I see Elise go for a level 3 play on Shen. She made a grave mistake because that play is not going to work. So what I'm going to do is just farm my crabs now and just use my W right afterwards just to give you a damage boost. Your W mimics everything Wukong does with his damage. Your W does like 50% damage of what you would do. So it's good to do a bit of, mix in a bit of damage like that. So here, I think Yone's checking to see where I am. Invading Elise is usually dangerous, so what I'm going to do is actually just play it real safe in the area that I am in. And I do have Smite coming up. I actually think I can kill her. She fights here is actually quite good. Problem is her bot lane is coming, so I'm going to just leave now. I have to flash out. Could be warded. I see them doing some nasty lurking around. But I am going to cross for the other crab because it looks like she might have not been able to get in. And I obviously grab the creep while I'm there. So if he moves a lot like in a direction, then I have to be ready for the movement commands there. So here I'm going to base. Obviously, it was a bit of a waste of time. Her movements made me believe, it's most likely just some camps to finish topside, but I'm pretty happy with possibly a Sheen buy. I could go for a Phage buy as well. I think because I can one buy my Phage, I'm just going to buy the Phage right now. My early game bases, I always try to go for like, components of this with a full buy on Sheen. I think Phage first item is just better to Sheen. Honestly, I don't know. It's more of a situation in preference. I just think Phage is just, if you can one buy a Phage, you one buy it. If I can one buy a Sheen and I can't get a Phage, then I would probably one buy a Sheen. Sheen is nice to have as a full completed item buy. So here the early game really didn't amount much. But that's the thing about Wukong jungle. You're really not that much of a... You're actually not that much of an early game jungler. You're more of like a level 6 jungler. So Elise she is an early game jungler. She sort of needs to make early game plays, right? So we can kind of play around that information and utilize as much as we can. I need Syndra to stay here. So Syndra is actually basing, but I want to play for Void Grubs. We don't want them to get Void Grubs. So what do we do in situations like this? Well, for starters, my W does allow me to get out of, you know, bad positions. She has Sword Boots and Dark Seal. So I do want to think about Void Grubs, but the problem is Yone is here, Syndra bases, so I can't actually have an option. I might actually have to give up all the Void Grubs, unfortunately. And I'm just going to play for Crab and Dragon side. So here we're just going to trade sides. I think he's in the rush, so we might be able to stop his base here, maybe. Maybe even roaming Bob. Him being here is actually quite good. Because he's just wasting a bit of time for no reason to be so deep in the bot side. Elise could run all the way here, so starting Dragon might be a bit risky, you could say, but honestly I think it's fine. Mostly because of the way we have our bot push set up. Then we have a really nice push around bot here. And just me on Dragon is really strong. I have my passive stacked all the way. It gives us a lot of damage and regen. Now, if the enemy ball lane shows up, I actually don't mind fighting here. But it looks like Elise just wants to get a bot side jungle, so it's a very slow game. It's not a fast game on Wukong jungle. But when you play him, you're really about 6, so you don't really want to be doing crazy things early game. Your farm is actually insane difference, so you can see my farm is just gapping her very hard. Here I always kind of like go for a E auto attack Q when I'm farming. Just a very fast clear speed difference. And the Phage is really good for chasing too. Phage gives you movement speed when you auto attack. It's really good synergy with Wukong. Helps you run down targets a lot, which you're gonna, you know, sort of find yourself in. I always kind of W backwards after I go in so my clone starts to tank a bit of damage. There's a lot of like shenanigans with your clone. You do have options on to like make it work in a different way. You can always press S and it actually creates the clone command, which makes people think you actually use your clone. And so just remember that as well. And with the Elise matchup, you're pretty much always saving your W for when she uses her cocoon. So here they're actually going crazy, but I'm just going to finish this 1 second off. I think Kaylin might walk this way. So here I'm thinking, okay, I'll just go for the Kaylin play. Their IQ flash, right? Help them push in the wave. Very simple. Game is going really good. Shen... GP is really... Actually, GP got so many plates, sir. That's insane. How has he already gone up my tower? That's insane. What? That's a problem when you give up the 3 Void Grubs against some champions. Like, the Shen ulti mid was amazing, right? Don't get me wrong. But, like, you can see how devastating that top lane situation is. But there's nothing I could do in that situation. You saw how hard I wanted to do Void Grubs, but because my mid base for no reason, you just have to give it up. And I should have been boss side faster to be on that dragon because I should have known right away my Syndra had a peanut brain, so we just had to give it up. We just had to. So here you always go back to farming. I'm really strong now with my Sheen buy, but again, we talked about it. Really about our level 6 ulti plays. So without ulti, I'm not that strong. Here, because this ward is, there's a pink here, I think I can catch Elise as she cuts, or maybe catch the GP as he cuts. I'm thinking about maybe a follow-up play here. Here, I just want to see which way he goes, maybe. I don't think I'm going to kill that guy. I might just go on Elise here while she doesn't have anyone. No one here, too. I'm going to base and go to my Raptor side. Yone did use his second cube, but you can see Elise cocooned right behind me right there. So I don't really have an option. I want these Void Grubs, like, don't get me wrong. I'm staying because I need these Void Grubs, period. I don't want to give them 6 with the GP and Yone. Their split push potential would be really, really frustrating to deal with. So what I'm going to do is do Raptor Camp and then hover my pink, right? I set up really good Void Grub vision. So I'm just happy with that. This guy's just drawing Syndra. Oh, sleep under the wheel. Sleep on the wheel. Easy stun angle. Very easy stun. So here we just play for the Void Grubs. And now I'm happy for Elise to come. I'm happy to get a fight here. I think this guy will just end up trolling me here. So I want to make sure she doesn't. So if Elise comes, you just kind of hover behind the Void Grubs. You don't really want to go on her. Because if you go on her, you might end up getting cocooned in the face. Elise, you're really good at when she's going to go on you, you want to W backwards to get your clone will tank the cocoon pretty much. So you can always do that mechanic. And then you can sort of re-engage afterwards. I pretty much have gotten this already. Is he low? Not really. I can pretty much get out. I was just entertaining maybe a fight, but there's no angle for us. Jeez, Qs like that is actually kind of troll. I have W in one. Just don't know which side Elise went on. She might have went to a Raptor farm. Might have went other way too. Oh, I should have killed Elise there. It was my mistake. My ulti was really nice though. Sets up a good play for the team. But I really wanted Elise kill. Personally. I think I messed up with my R a bit. Should have went on Elise right away. Your clone will always mimic your ulti. Remember that. Your clone mimics your ulti. So by that, you can always make 2 ultis go off and the clone one will deal obviously less damage, but it's not about the damage so much. This Karthus is dead. I know he's dead, so I'm just gonna leave. GP is really strong. He has a Triforce and almost Collector vibe. I'm not fighting a GP there. I was just seeing if Rel base strikes me, maybe I can like, oh my god, send a relax there. I have Triforce, right? I have a really good buy. We cannot give this dragon. I love dragon here, but we're not getting dragon. Why? Because I have so much money. Senna is like not even a champion if we fight. And also I need Merc Treads against what their team is. Actually, do I need Merc Treads? I have 1 stun. Honestly, I think I need armor boots, actually. Whatever, I'll just have a null magic. I'll sit on this. It will help me early game at least. They do have a lot of stuns though. It's a bit tricky this situation because Merc Treads is really good, but Armor Boots is really good too. So I'll have to make a decision later. So what is our goal here? What are we trying to accomplish? We need Dragon. We have Shen here. Yone's top. So I'm actually quite happy with starting Dragon in this situation. Yone could TP, so I'm thinking Yone TP is bad, but Elise is not showing, Rel's not showing, so they give up Dragon or something. Save your W if you're not sure exactly if they're here or not, because your W is a good engaged spell. I'd be surprised if they want to fight this. It's most likely already dead. But yeah, you have to be really... I mean, Wukong is an engaged champion. He's all about the engage. If you don't like engaging on people, you're not going to like playing this champion. So you always have to be aware of how you engage. Engaging is always something you need to be prepared for. You have to think before, how am I going to approach this fight? And a lot of times it's about angles. Are you someone who studies geometry? Then you'll understand that angles create everything. Sometimes you have to flank people. Sometimes you have to come from behind. Sometimes you have to just go and take a blast plant in and just go on top. This is not good, right? Because they reacted. They start to react, you just switch it up. You don't go for it. You can always change your mind on these sort of engage, right? So just... I'm saving my R charge because I wanted to use it on Elise here. Pretty much I'm going for 1 more Q here. It's actually kill range. That's what I was talking about. W backwards, right? Very easy against Elise. You W to block. There I was thinking about how I wanted to kind of outplay her there, but honestly it's not a big deal. I don't really have to dive towers. I'm in a really good spot. Yone is diveable right now, so I'm just going to approach it slowly. Half health. You're not really in 1-shot range, so it's good. Don't really want to show yet. He's pretty much a one-shot. What we need to do is wait for him to use the spell. But we have to be fast here. It's actually really good. But the taunt is really bad. Now this is really bad. Oh, this blue is actually messing me up here. Oh man, I couldn't even auto the plant because I was stuck. That Yone, that took too much time. That was really bad. You don't want to waste time like that. I wanted the Shen to just move, like start pushing the wave, but he just wouldn't push. Some of these players, you can't really trust them with plays. And the answer is simple. I'm not going to go into Mertrez. I'm going to go Armored Boots, but I might... I'll just sit on my Null Magic. Sometimes you'll make a mistake in your buy, but that's understandable. It's okay. You just sit on this item. It's not like 20 MR is bad this situation because I'm fighting at least a lot. It can dramatically help me as well. Whoops. So my goal is to just farm up a bit here. Not really much going on. My team is really struggling. Very much struggling. My Syndra is invisible. Everything she does, very bad. But what I noticed right away is my balling is really strong. My Karthus has items that are respectable. And I think if I play around Karthus and Senna, I think we will win. So what I'm going to do is avoid Syndra because she's sort of like a... she's like the plague right now. But I will play around, you know, my other people. Senna Ghost makes engaging really good. I'm going to save my R here. Very nicely done for us. I'm very happy with that fight. Let's get the pink here, and then we're going to play around maybe Dragon here, or even GP flank. GP's in a long lane. Long lanes are bad, right? For the enemy team, because they can be run down. Our goal is to get Dragon, right? We're stacking Dragons. We have 2 Dragons. What do I want to do? I want to do Dragon. And Wukong is a really good Dragon champion, because first, he can tank it and he takes no damage. Secondly, why is he really good? Well, because he loves team fights. I love engaging. I need engaged fights. Even in that situation, what did you see me do? I gave up my Raptors because I wanted to engage. I thought they were grouped up. Yes, let's group up. My ulti's up. I want to fight. Like, it's good to fight in these situations. You have to identify when it's time for you to do something aggressive. When is it time for you to just slow down and, you know, take it easy? Identify what the game needs. Do you need to speed it up? Do you need to fight now? What did I notice? Our side lanes are garbage, right? Like, our side laners are gonna lose. So what do? I have the tools in my kit to team fight. So we do exactly what I just said would be in team fight. So here I really want Dragon. I know they're doing some weird shit mid, but like, Dragon really is so good to have right now. And I don't even have R up, so I do want to just get this Dragon secured. So make sure your Q Smite also does a lot of damage. You can Q Smite for a good chunk of change there. So this Kaylin is actually trolling. And our jungle item, we did go the blue jungle item. So blue jungle item just means she's in this brush. So I'm gonna just go fast and W in. Most likely in this one. Was able to get away, most likely based on one of those brushes. Not much I can do about that. Baron is up. We don't want them to get Baron though. Baron would be a very sad thing for us to give them. Hopefully Syndra is able to reveal if they're on it or not. They could be on it. I should probably move. But I like to be greedy because I'm really close to Sunder Sky. And if I get Sunder Sky, I'll honestly be a really happy tomato right now. So hopefully I can get this before I have to base. So I don't even have enough to farm yet. So let me think. We might have to steal some jungle camps to get this item. And I'm really committed to get it before I base because I literally have no other base. So check this for pink. Pink gives gold. I could do a stupid raptor steal here, and I think I will. Cool thing about Wukong as well, you can actually W over this wall. So if I see Caitlyn farming on this wave, I can easily just W over and go for an engager. So here you just have to W. So they're really flanking us here. So here I have my item. I have a lot of gold, so I'm just going to base, and I'm pretty happy with my situation right now. And usually here after this item, you're really tanky, so you're in a good spot. I'm going to go for armor boots because we talked about it. I'm also going to switch to sweeper because now it's Baron time. I generally like to get sweeper for Baron time because you're going to be looking for a lot of vision clear, a lot of stuff you need to do. And here I think we're really strong to team fight. I actually think we're strong enough to do Baron and win a fight after. But we also have Dragon Soul coming up. So realistically, I'm just going to wait for Dragon Soul. So what I'm going to do is look for fights around mid. Baron is in. There is no guarantee on doing the Baron, but... hard chunks, right? Hard chunks. My R not being up was a bit unlucky. We have to play around the cooldowns you have. I really do think we just fight them here, so... Oh, that kills me. Oh, the barrier on... Oh my god, Syndra. You missed it. The barrier, I forgot about the barrier, but... That was too greedy for me. It was so strong, though. Really want to kill Caitlyn. There's something about her that irritates me. Can't blame me. Can't blame me for doing what I love to do. Also, we don't do Baron here. I'm glad I died. Why? Because it doesn't bait my team into doing a Baron that we really don't need to do. Dragon Soul fight will be really easy for us to win. I'll have my dragon, or I'll have my ultimate by that time. I won't have an item by, but that's okay. So before a dragon, we have a minute. Minutes, pretty much you got to be ready to go. So what I want to do is at least red buff, because like red buff, it gives us 5 buffs to everyone. Super important before. If you have like a minute or even 30 seconds, I advise you just grab this red fast and then just go straight to dragon. So here I'm going to go for the red. I'm going to eye here to see if GP is giving up and going for like a split play. So far, nothing. Yone's here though, but honestly, don't really care about Yone. So what I do is I always kind of spam ping my team to let them know. I think Caitlyn could be trying to like cut here. I have a ping specifically to drop it in dragon. Here I see a beautiful angle to kind of team fight. Reset, go on the front line. Damn, I actually died though. The Caitlyn trap ruined my engage. I wanted to get on GP. It's really important to get on the GP because it's damage from that one barrel. Actually almost killed all of us, but overall, getting the fight started with Shen ulti is really good. We ended up getting the dragon anyway. I think I played that fight poorly. I think the trap, yeah, I didn't notice it. I wanted to get on the GP. I wanted to dash forward and get on the GP, then start ulting. But a lot of times you can see I'm looking for angles. I'm looking to W over walls. You might have to use your W. Like sometimes you're going to have to use your W to get on people. Sometimes you can use your E and then W after, which can help as well. Here I'm going to buy pink. So now it's actually Baron time. So how do we want to get Baron? We want to at least get the same thing we did last time, which I want to get a buff going just so we can get our bot side jungle. We haven't really farmed all that much since we started grouping up heavily. This thing is going to give us a lot of power. So just understand that I'm not close to die anymore. I'm not I'm not going to have any close deaths now. I have a lot of tenacity from this Chemsexual. So here I'm just going to do the Gromp. I'll skip Wolves because I think there's already a fight going to go down. What you want to do is you want to tell your team what's going on. Is I'm grouping up. Yone's bot side. I want to fight. Mid waves here. We do want to take mid waves. So I'm just going to start pushing it. Honestly, I don't mind just starting the dragon. And also your clone can tank things like that. My team can't really clear vision without me, right? Important thing to remember. But I actually don't think we start Baron because I think killing them is much easier. Ah, dude, the GP ulti or auto attack destroyed me there. Engage was good, but going forward was bad. I honestly kind of forgot they had a tower there. I should have just kept kiting back and it would have been fine. Here they are actually pretty AD heavy, so I'm just going to go into my item. Oh, the Syndra does no damage, by the way. That may have been ambitious, I'm going to say. But I think I will say the engage was good. It was just I shouldn't have kept going. And is really strong, but GP is stronger. We are sort of throwing, and I am responsible for that. Honestly, I just don't want to do Baron with GP ulti still up. I wanted to get the ulti from the GP. But I'm actually in a really strong spot right now to recoup some losses. Don't have Shen ulti. Chunking is good because it stops his base. I don't think I generally want him to base because I want to just do Baron right now. Caitlyn, I actually don't care about her that much. It's a Baron angle. Pretty much stopping bases can always gain you what you want, which is the objective. Especially when the Yone is a very strong flanker. Or your W can also tank as well, as you can see. It guarantees Baron, so what do we learn? Let's try not to go too deep here. Caitlyn is worthless. I'm going to stop going on her. I want their blue. This is a mini objective, right? These blues and reds are actually mini objective that you do want to secure. They're good. They're global buffs. They're also, you know, global mini objectives that you should capitalize on. So we have Baron now. I really honestly don't really have much of base. I just want to group up. So what I'm going to do is just do the Raptors and then do the red buff and group up. And so far, I just need to pay attention to who I'm going on. I think Caitlyn is kind of worthless, so I'm going to stop going on her. And what I'm going to focus on is actually getting on like Yone and GPA. Because I actually am very strong against these types of champions. See, they're trying to play around side lane, right? But I'm actually strong enough where I could just go here. I'm very strong, by the way, so I don't know what they're trying. Oh, bro, that last GP barrel. I don't know where Karthus went, but I think he just kind of ignored us when we were fighting around him. I stopped the TP. Beautiful. You know, stop the TP. You need to stop the TP. My auto, honestly, I canceled one auto attack on Rel. Should have killed Rel. Could I have lived there? Honestly, maybe not. GP does a lot of true damage. The null magic, don't really need it anymore, so I'm gonna sell it now for, you know, possible pink ward or go into my DD. It served a purpose, honestly. The enemy team does do a relatively good amount of magic damage, but I'm not gonna go MR. Full armor item this game. Most likely we're gonna go DD. And we might go into like a cleaver, Xerix build. Maybe cleaver here. So cleaver earlier, you want it, like we talked about, you can go cleaver third item. Better against more beefy comps, right? Like they're a pretty squishy combo. Except for Rel, their comp is squishy. So cleaver, if they had a bit more armor, I'd probably go into cleaver earlier. And here Dragon is Elder Drake, so obviously Elder Drake's very good. Also, we could probably burn it before Elise is really ready for it. I think GP is sitting here with barrels trying to one-shot someone. So I do not want to be one-shot. We're so strong. Okay, at this point, listen, if you're not diving them, you're just not playing League of Legends. I want them to fight us. I want to go on. I'm going to flash when I get a chance on them. If I see an angle, I will go for it. GP no flash. He's honestly the most important person to go on. We really need to kill this GP. Oh my, actually a one shot by at least. Guess the MR was important. I'm still not going to build MR though. Yeah, honestly, GP damage is so insane. I thought it would be more tanky, but I guess the chem tech doesn't really help. Chem tech soul is one of the worst souls in the game, unfortunately. Actually, I think chem tech is the worst dragon soul in the game. Problem is when you drop below 50%, it's not really that effective. You usually want it more effective. Honestly, didn't really need to engage there. I should just waited. We don't have the follow-up damage. We have Karthus ulti, but it only depends if Karthus wants to use ultimate. I do think I will win against this guy with ulti up. 1v1 if I was 16. With Karthus ulti, it's pretty easy. Yeah, we use everything, but honestly, it's worth it because that champion is nuts. I just needed to have a, what's it called? I just need a GP ulti. Or I just needed Shen ulti. We're fine. I'm just gonna take whatever I can here and then move up for Baron. It's a long one, guys. It's a long one. I may have fumbled some engages. Honestly, I was trying too hard to end the game. Sometimes you just have to play safe and smart and slow. Here I'm just pushing the mid waves just because I'm personally of the opinion that when you do Baron, you just need this mid wave push in because look how much time it buys you and how much vision it actually buys you. And I think if the enemy team comes in to us while we're on it, I think it's quite nice for us to play. Beautiful engage. Here we're just going to E and then R right after. and then cancel our ulti and then Q again. As you just saw. Yone is flanking, so I have to Wukong. No way. Damn, that Karthus Q hit. Honestly, that was a good engage though. We'll further it the moment to get our engage off. We wait for the flank. We get the Baron secured, obviously, because we're pushing them back. And overall, just a good game, so I'm okay with this situation. I wouldn't say we had the best engages. We definitely messed up a bit, but listen, when you play a champion like Wukong, a champion that wants to engage, you're gonna mess up a lot of engages before you get better at it. So you just have to like be patient with yourself and just be willing to make some bad engages so you can get better and know when to make a good engage. So I hope you guys liked the video. Be sure to like, subscribe if you haven't already. Good luck on the game and good luck on the climb, and I'll see you guys next time.